What's going on, everybody? It's your dude, Top 10 Pokemon, back with another Top 10 video for you. Today we'll be going over 10 Pokemon cards that I believe have been on fire as of recently, and a lot of these cards will be from the XY era. XY era cards are very interesting compared to the cards we usually go over because these cards are a lot lower pop than a lot of these ultra-modern cards we see today. We'll be seeing cards from Generations, Breakpoint, Fates Collide, Steam Siege, and even Phantom Forces today. And I will also be reviewing the population of each of these cards. Thank you so much for tuning in, folks. Today's video sponsor is the #1 website for high-end Pokemon card investments, lowpopping.com. If you're a collector of high-end graded Pokemon cards, look no further than lowpopping.com, where they feature a massive variety of cards graded by PSA, BGS, and CGC, spanning across the entire generation of the Pokemon TCG. Not only that, but they have a ton of sealed vintage product available, as well as sealed video games. And believe me, a lot of these items you will not find anywhere else. And don't forget, if you see something that you must have for your collection, you can easily trade for or make offers on it. And they also have buy now, pay later options for you to take advantage of as well. Lowpopping.com is a must for anyone looking to invest in Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or even sealed video games. And as always, a link to their website will be in the description of this video. I thank you so much for your support. Alright folks, let's get into this top 10 video, starting off with this beauty right here. It is the Flareon EX from the Generations Radiant Collection. This card was selling as a PSA 10 for about $1,380, but recently we saw a sale of $1,881, and that is a 36% increase on this beautiful evolution from Generations, and with a population of only 264 PSA 10 copies. Now what's interesting is this card features all three of the original evolutions, but Flareon is front and center. I think Generations has always been an underrated set in this hobby. What do you think about it? This is the number 10 hottest card of the week. Coming in number 9, we have one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, the Gyarados. I don't know if you can see my shirt here, but I am rocking some Gary garb today. This is a secret rare Gyarados EX full art card from Breakpoint that was selling as a PSA 10 for about $610. But recently we have seen a sale of $930 all the way up to $960, which is a 57% increase on my boy Gary here. This card has a PSA 10 population of 1,018 examples, which is really child's play compared to the pops that a lot of these modern cards are getting nowadays. Now you may have already noticed, but a lot of these secret rare full art cards from the XY era also feature other mainstream Pokemon kind of in the background. In this case, we have a Greninja and a Manaphy along with this Shining Gary. Very awesome card. This is the number 9 on my list today. Coming in number 8, we kind of saw this card coming as the other two cards from the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection box have been doing well, so we figured this card here would follow. It's the Charizard V from the Charizard UPC that was selling as a PSA 10 for about $120 pretty consistently, but nowadays you're looking at over $200 for this card at around $207.50 being the most recent auction sale, which is a nice 72% increase on this Zard. Now out of the 3 Zards you got from the UPC, the V-Star, the V-Max, and the V, I always thought this one here was the least popular, which is probably why it's taken the longest for it to increase. And it's also worth noting that this card has a significant amount more PSA 10s than the cards from the XY era that we've been going over. This particular card has 6,363 PSA 10 copies. Coming in number 7, we have this Umbreon EX full art card from Fates Collide that in PSA 10 was selling for a very healthy price at about $705. But check out some recent sales where this card has been selling for 4 figures pretty consistently. Here is a sale for $1,025, another sale for $1,025, all the way up to $1,225, which is a 74% increase on this Umbreon EX. And if you'll notice, this card has a PSA 10 population of about 482 examples. And the reason why these cards are significantly lower pop than the cards we see today is because the XY era, for the most part, had very poor quality control with their cards. A lot of these were cut horribly. They were very off-center. They were just, yeah, the quality was not there, which is why these PSA 10 examples are much more elusive than modern cards we see today. This is the number 7 card on my list. Coming in number 6, we have another card from the XY era. This one is the Full Art Alakazam EX secret rare card that has been doing very well as a PSA 10. Here is a sale from a month or so ago for about $610 in auction, but most recently this card has sold for $1,251, which is a 105% increase over the course of just a month or two. This is another relatively lower pop card than what we're used to seeing, having only 553 PSA 10 copies. And what makes this card particularly awesome is, much like that Gyarados EX, we see other Pokemon in the background, most notably that Umbreon there. Umbreon is a hot commodity nowadays, folks. So yeah, you got the Alakazam, the Umbreon, amazing card, number 6 on my list. Coming in at number 5, we have another card from the Generations Radiant collection. It is the Full Art Pikachu that was selling as a PSA 10 for about $360, which is an excellent deal if you ask me, because more recently we have seen sales of $695 all the way up to $750, which is a 108% increase on this magnificent card. And what's better than one Pikachu? A whole bunch of Pikachus on the same card. This card has a population of 425 PSA 10 examples, which lands it at the number 6 spot on the list today. Coming in number 4, we have another evolution, and this one is from Breakpoint. It is the Espeon EX Full Art that in PSA 10 was selling for about $211. But more recently, this card has more than doubled, selling for $420 and then again for $470 very recently, and that is a 123% increase. With 430 PSA 10 copies existing, this is the number 4 hottest card of the week. Coming in number 3, we have another Steam Siege card on our top 10 list. I don't know what's happening. It is the Mega Gardevoir EX Full Art card in PSA 10, was selling not that long ago for about $210, all the way down to about $180 for this card. But check out this recent sale of $525, and that is a massive 192% increase on this card from Steam Siege. I'm telling you what, whether it's the Volcanion, the Steelix, or now the Gardevoir, Steam Siege singles have been rising. I don't know why, it's crazy. This card has a PSA 10 population of 548 copies. And yeah, and I don't know, folks, what other card from Steam Siege is going to come up. I think this is it, right? Those are the 3 main Pokemon from Steam Siege, so I guess we'll stay tuned to find out. This is the number 3 hottest card of the week. Coming in number 2, let's take a little break from the XY era and talk about some Chilling Reign in this Galarian Slowking V Alt Art. This card was selling as a PSA 10 dirt cheap for about $69. But check this out, folks. This card has recently sold for $201 and then again for $202.50, which is a 194% increase. Chilling Reign? More like Chilling Gain. Thank you. I'm here all night. This card has 1,877 PSA 10 copies, and I always thought this was an absolute hideous illustration of Slowking. What do you think about it? Let me know. Which brings me to the number 1 card with the highest gains that I have seen. It is the Gengar EX from Phantom Forces. In PSA 10 was selling for about $112, all the way down to about $102. But recently we have seen this card kind of skyrocket, selling for about $285 all the way up to $305, which is a 198% increase for this Gengar EX that has a population of 1,680 copies. And it's crazy because the other Gengars from this set, the Full Art Gengars, the Mega Gengars, are super expensive cards. This one here is probably the cheapest Gengar in the set, and it still goes for over $300. It's the number 1 hottest card that I could find. Folks, what do you think of the cards from the XY era? Let me know in the comments below. I always look forward to hearing from you. That's all I got in today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in my next one.